Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Oasis Podcast. We are officially in Season 3. I counted wrong. Season 3 of the Oasis Podcast. And we're starting it off with a bang, man. We're starting it off with the guys today. We got Danny. We got Mark. You guys excited for Season 3?
You know what? I actually am really excited, dude. I'm actually really excited. Season 3, I think we got a lot of bangers coming in Season 3. And we're getting the hang of this thing. And, we got Mark here for the first time ever in front of the camera. He came fucking dripped out. We gotta put in the. I'm gonna do the clapping sound effects. Yeah. We're gonna hit the home run sound when in the Wii Sports when you hit a home run. He's looking good.
Cock. That's right. So to introduce Mark is the man behind all the audio. So typically with the audio, he's sitting on the side. He has some headphones on. Today we got producer Mondo rocking behind it, but Mark's usually the guy with the headphones on it. And Mark, how do you feel being on the Kickstarter opening day Oasis Podcast Season 3? How do you feel?
Finally.
Hold on, bro.
What?
That's cap. Because we've been trying to get you to come on the camera for a long time. Matter of fact, we want to give you your own camera, and you always say, "No, bro. I don't want to have a camera on me, bro." And we've been trying to make you part of it.
Bro, the thing for people at home, like you got to tell them, like, is that normally how you talk with? Like, because you sounded very excited right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I normally talk.
If you can't tell, you know what? Actually, for Mark, that's really excited. We're really excited to have him. He's hyped. Season 3 is gonna be a good one, dude. We got a lot of big people coming in. We got a couple of 8-figure people coming on. Some other big guests lined up for Season 3, and of course, like Anthony said, dude, we got the first banger episode with just the boys. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's been happening, that's going on within our podcast, within our community, and within the world. So we're going to touch on some of that stuff today, and let's get rolling, baby.
Dude, to start it off, I think one of the craziest things is if you guys are watching this at home, whether you're starting off on this episode, you started off on episode 1 and you're barely coming in, and you've been following from the start. The craziest part, dude, is that we are only 6.5 months in. That's the craziest part. Like, a lot of times I feel like we look at it and you look back and it's like, it seems like we've been doing this for years, but we're 6.5 months in the podcast world, and I feel like I can't even focus over here. So we're 6.5 months in the 6.5 months in the podcast game. So what's your guys' take so far? How do you guys feel? And how do you guys feel about it?
Like, you know what? I'm really fucking competitive. So I'm gonna say some shit right now. Not to put anybody down, but I just think that we really are doing shit at a high level, especially for how long it's been. 6.5 months, 7 months. Obviously, if you can know us personally, right? We have the business going on, and I think that work ethic. We're like, this is something that we really fucking like. That's really fun for us.
It's just so fun. Like, I feel like podcasting is one of the funnest things you can do. It really is.
So, and we took the big leap, the equipment and all that stuff. We have a badass fucking team with the boys. And I really do think that we put out good quality stuff. You can tell it's Mark's first time in front of the camera because he didn't mute his phone.
You can also tell that he has a Samsung. That's what you can tell as well by your ringtone. That's really what they're looking at.
You know what?
I'm logging off.
You know what, chat? So I think we're doing it at a high level.
Better for Mark. He's exit to your left. Stage left.
No, he's going to stay. We're going to forgive him. He told me the other day if the company gets him an iPhone, he'll switch over. So maybe the Oasis Pod will get Mark an iPhone for Christmas.
That's next.
But yeah, dude, I think we're doing shit at a high level, dude. We're having a lot of fun. I do think that we have some of the best quality out here in the game, especially in the Central Valley, dude. So it's been really fun learning this whole thing. Interviewing the guests, it's really fucking different because, dude, you have to learn about the person, right? That's a given. But you also want to you want to learn about the person, and obviously it makes it kind of tricky because you learn the whole story, the whole backstory, and all that stuff. But then you have to present it, and you have to help them present their story for your audience, right? Because I think at the end of the day, one of the big things we want to do was just kind of motivate people and have an impact within everybody that we know, that watches the show. Because I mean, shit, like we talked about in episodes before, some of the people echo, my guy Market and a few of the other guys that have been on, they've echoed the feeling where like, Fresno is popping, dude. This area's popping, Vicali's popping, Tulsa's popping. It's just not a lot of people feel that way just yet, But I think slowly the mindset is kind of shifting here in the valley. So it's been exciting, dude. It's been fun to be a part of that.
It's been fun. And like I said, it's one of the funnest things we've done so far. It's only going to get funner. We have a lot of exciting upcoming guests so far. And let us know in the comments, man. Let us know if we're doing good, if we're doing horrible, if there's something you love that we do, or if there's something you're like, damn, every time you guys do this on the pod, I hate this. Like, let us know in the comments. We're trying to get better every single day, and we hope that we're better now than season 1, being a couple months in. But what do you think, Mark? What's your thoughts on season 3, and what's your thoughts on the first 2 seasons so far?
Definitely being behind the mic. I just hear everything firsthand. It just feeds through my headset. There's so many gems that get dropped by all the guests that we have on, and it's always been like a smile on my face because it's always some like knowledge that they're putting you on that you might not experience from people that you know. So it's kind of good to reach out, good to do some research, find out things that might inspire you, and that's kind of what we're doing with these pods.
100%.
Shit, you have a knack for being in front of the camera, bro. You might take Nate's spot, bro.
So those fishing videos.
The fishing videos.
That's cool, bro. On top of that, too, shout out to all the guests that's been on the All Access podcast, like season 1, season 2. Every single guest that took time. There's a whole list here, man. Like, you can just go back on all the episodes, and I guarantee every single guest that we had on every single episode drops their own game, drops their own gems in their own certain way. And their story, too, I feel like every single guest we've had on has had, like, a badass story where, like, how they've come up, how they've come up, how they've got to where they are now is super crazy. We have business guys, we have top-level athletes, we have fashion guys, we have pretty much everything in between, influencers, everything in between we've had. I feel like every single person has brought a different thing to the table where the viewers at home, I know when I go back and watch it at home, I get something entirely different from like when I was interviewing to begin with.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, whenever I go back in and listen to it, it almost feels like a different conversation because you hear some of the stuff that I don't know, you might have missed, in person. So it's cool, dude. I think that I'm rambling, bro. Hold on, let me get another scoop of ice cream.
Danny's eating some ice cream here. He's lactose, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. We're gonna save Danny the lactose here today. So we got a lot of topics today on kicking off the season 3, and one of the first ones is we talked a lot about soccer in the past before. I'm not a big fan of soccer. I've never been a big fan of soccer, maybe just because I'm not really good at it. But one of the craziest things about it is how do you call it? Mbappe deal that he has right now, baby, on the table to go to Saudi is out of this world. What do you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, I'm a big soccer guy. FIFA, seasons, Division 1, baby, top of the game, baby. So if you want to run the 6, first of all, we're going to put my @ right here on PSN. Add me. We'll run it. Everybody says they got the smoke, but if you played me, you know what's good, baby. I think I'm undefeated against friends and family right now.
Danny went to Lids before, right?
Huh?
You went to Lids before we came here?
No, I'm that guy, bro. I'm that guy. But anyways, on the topic of back to Mbappe, right? Like, again, if you want to challenge me, just drop the comment down below. But back to Mbappe, dude. So Messi, so the Messi deal was a big deal,
I can't
right?
take Mark serious, bro. Okay. I'm sorry.
Am I a joke to you?
Dude, you got vibes like that Bobby girl. Not to switch up the topic, but you got vibes like that.
You
Bobby
are
girl.
Bobby. Okay, we're gonna go over that first. What do you guys think of the Bobby girl interviewing Drake? What do you guys think? What's your take on that?
Well, she says she has a dumpy. So do I have a dumpy? Is that what you're trying to say?
You do, actually.
Well, there you go.
Verified. Dude.
Valid.
So here's the thing with her, right?
Bro.
To me, her shit's super entertaining.
Well, okay.
Dude, I think it's entertaining.
Why are you hating on it? It is.
I'm not hating. I didn't say anything. Say anything, bro.
All right, we're gonna replay that loop of him. I think she's entertaining, and he's like, "We're gonna get that slow mo."
He's all looking for ants. Shit on the ground.
I think she's been entertaining. I've seen her, but here's a fucking controversial thing about Bobby.
Why is she so big though?
Well, that's the thing. People
she
are
has
saying
like
that she's a
5
fucking
posts.
podcast plant.
She has 5 posts and she had like 8 million followers. I don't
So
understand.
people are saying that she's like an industry plant. So people are saying that she's the first industry plant in the podcast game.
What does that mean?
So industry plant, for example, is really popular like in the rap game, right? So you have guys like the boy 6ix9ine, right? Freddie's fucking top guy. They kind of blow up and they get like super big out of nowhere, right? So that's being an industry plant means that basically the industry, quote unquote, kind of fucking positions you in key places so you can blow up seemingly overnight, you know? So a lot of people are saying that she's a podcast industry plant, so to call it. But I did my own little research. I'm not gonna cap because I was like, you know
I
what?
also did some research on it. So.
Because she popped out of nowhere, right? It felt like she fucking popped out of nowhere. And next thing you know, she's with Drake.
Podcasting, but she was already big on TikTok.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was going to say. So she barely got big on her fucking podcast game, right? Obviously having Drake on and like just saying some sexual shit while you're fucking laying in bed with Drake. Like,
how did she get Drake on to begin with?
Bro, I don't fucking know. And that's why people are saying that she's an industry plant,
She
right?
has a contract with the company for her podcast.
Oh.
So I think they're pushing the deals to these big names.
Oh, shit.
What company?
I couldn't retain the info for the company that she's with, but I know that she's going through it. This is a company for the pod.
Yeah, and see, that's really interesting because, like, her TikTok, if you look at it, historically has been more of, like, mom vibes. You know, she's, like, big in, like, the mom niche, I guess. I don't know what
she's a mom.
She is a mom,
cool.
Yeah. So she has a husband, I think 2 kids. I think one of her kids' name is Concrete. I don't know if that's, like, a meme or, like, legit. Her kid's name is fucking
really?
Concrete. Yeah, it's fucking
It was
Concrete.
her daughter's birthday during the Drake pod.
You know a lot. You know a lot about this chick, Mark.
I watched the pod.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. And, yeah, so I kind of went on the rabbit hole, dude, because I seen some people, like, calling her out, you know, like, she's a fucking industry plan shit. So that's the controversy with her. To me, I think it's entertaining. It's so hard to fucking tell if she's playing a character or not. I want to say she's playing a character, but at the same time, I think that's, like...
To me, there's no way. There's no way you can be that way 24/7 and not be playing a character.
I don't know, dude.
Never.
I mean, look at Mark, bro.
I'm like her, so what does that mean?
Mark is like her.
I take it back, bro. I mean,
She tried, like, he's funny without trying, dude.
Dude, we should bend him more,
Fuck you laughing at Fred.
bro. But we're gonna have just so many still shots throughout the pod.
We got the
of
male
Mark.
version of Bobby.
Mark
We have the male version of Bobby to kick off season 3, baby. It doesn't get better than these people. We got the best of the best in the game.
And he has glasses, bro. Your glasses are just dripping down.
Sorry,
on your
ladies,
face,
I'm
bro.
taken. So
He's a married man,
I'm
actually.
a married man.
The ring.
This pod's either gonna go really good or really bad. I don't know
Hey,
yet.
you know what, dude?
Like,
This is gonna be like we're gonna get in the comment section. Bring Mark in. Bring Mark
they're
in.
gonna be
bring
like,
Mark in.
we're gonna be like that show on Netflix that gets canceled on season 3. Like we're not.
I'm not gonna get canceled. I am not gonna get canceled.
Well, yeah. So that's what the whole thing with Bobby, right? She blew up. She's had Drake on it. Like the Drake one is so funny. Like it's fucking.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's good. I
clips,
get it
dude.
to her.
She had another funny one with. I seen a Little Yachty. She had a Little Yachty on.
Little
there,
Yachty
pretty
was
funny.
really funny too.
What's the other guy? Like some of her first clips. I think he's like a comedian. No.
Oh, it's yeah. It's not King Bach, is it? Or is it King Bach?
Is it King Bach?
I think it's King
I
Bach.
think it is.
I think so.
I don't remember.
I don't know any of the guests.
I was
just
hoping
Drake.
for you to know.
I really don't know the people that she was interviewing, but some of them are hilarious.
Yeah, so she's really big. She
What'd
popped
you
in.
find so funny
I
about
don't
it,
want to
Mark?
get canceled.
I'm curious. What'd you find so funny about it?
It's like she throws off the guests like with things that she asks, and like it just puts the guest on edge, and it causes them to say something completely different that you wouldn't expect.
It's like a little bit awkward. Like she's comfortable being awkward as fuck.
Like the Drake one, like she's like, "Oh, I missed my daughter's birthday." He's like, "Oh, you're a terrible parent," like, because
Yeah,
it's just she provokes like random responses out of her guests because the way she is, which is funny.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, man, one can only hope to be like Bobby and get Drake on the pod one day, huh? Shout out Bobby, dude. She's doing it.
Shout out Bobby. She's killing the game. That's
Also, though, on the topic of podcasts, you have somebody like Bobby who's really prepared and she's really got at her craft. And then you have on the flip side, you have what's kind of like a big controversy right now. You got the boy Jordan and the Elk Boys. That's been a whole little spill. Have you heard about that?
Oh, this is a good topic.
Yeah,
this is a good
I
one.
have not.
You know,
I have
it's a
not.
good one because we like on the topic. Obviously, we host people, and you know, it's only the respectful thing to like prepare for them, like learn about the stuff that they have going on, and really do your homework on somebody that's performing at the top of their game, right? So. I don't know what the case was, right? I wasn't there, you know. I'm not part of the team to say whether the Nelk Boys prepared or not. But if you watch the show, it's like
So to people at home who haven't watched it yet,
Okay, that's true.
to explain what's going on, there's a big comedian called Jordan Schultz, right? He has a bunch of comedy specials. He's huge. Then obviously you got the Nelk Boys Full Send podcast going on. So Jordan Schultz went on the Nelk Boys Full Send podcast, and I guess there was a big. I better say it right.
Andrew or Jordan?
I think it's Andrew.
Okay, we're gonna.
Andrew Schultz.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, that's goated, man.
How the fuck did I get Jordan Schultz?
Damn, that's goated, bro.
Well, maybe you're plugging in that you didn't do your research either, like the Nelk Boys. So.
You know what?
We're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut that, bro. Bro, so the thing is, I actually said it to Danny, so you can't, like, I do my research. So let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
You know, the guy's kind of nobody, bro, so I don't know what Andrew Schultz is. Go over there, Andrew.
Now you're gaslighting me?
Bobby.
Okay, let me just see this real quick. Hold on.
So on the topic of podcasts, right, and us having a show and having to prepare for people, this whole big old controversy kind of went down between one of the biggest shows, right, on the internet, which is With the Nelk Boys, and the boy Andrew Schultz, who's really big, and he's got a big ass show himself, right? So I guess what ended up happening was that the Nelk Boys, you know, Kyle, Steiny, and I think on that one was Steve too. They were hosting Andrew. But if you watch the show, you can kind of tell that they didn't really prepare too well, or they were kind of winging it. It was kind of weird, and it really wasn't probably one of their best shows. You know?
But the controversy behind it, before you go into that,
Okay.
the controversy behind it was that they never released it. So John Shahidi, the president of Full Send, he went on another podcast with Stephen Graham, I believe, and he went on there and said, like, they talked about, have you ever done a podcast where you haven't released it? And then John was like, yeah, we actually have. There's one Full Send podcast that's never been released before. And that was the one. So it was Andrew Schultz, went on Full Send podcast, like Danny was saying. He went on there. So the episode got leaked. Not leaked. The episode recently dropped. Yeah. The episode was from a long time ago, too, like last year, November. But what happened was whenever they said that, a big controversy, Andrew Schultz said he wanted it to drop it because Kyle said that he didn't want to drop it. So they kind of went back and forth. Long story short, they dropped it, and it was probably one of the most interesting different podcasts I probably ever watched. What did you guys think of it?
You know, it was really interesting because, like, if you watch something like some of the stuff that Andrew was talking about, it really felt like they were so unprepared for him that he said that he almost borderline felt like they were trolling him. You know, because like the questions that were asking him were like super like it's not the questions you ask a fucking guy like Andrew. You know,
so. Well, my take was a lot of time throughout the whole podcast, they were just asking him about trending topics, like everything aside from him. The whole time. So like they never asked him like how'd you get into comedy, and went really in depth. I think they touched on it a little bit, but it wasn't more of like when we have a guest on, it's 1,000% about the guest, right? We're going into their struggles, their challenges, how they come up, all the different types of stuff. They really didn't do that too much with him. And he even said on the podcast, he was like, I feel like I'm convincing you guys to do the podcast more than I'm on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'm on your podcast. I took time out of my day to come on your podcast, and it feels like I'm forcing you guys to do the podcast.
Yeah, and so that was already kind of badish, right? But I think they probably would have still released the show. What really fucking made it bad, or I think this is the part they didn't want to release, was if you guys seen like the Nelk Boys, right? There's a guy Steiny, and you know, they hate or love him. You know, a lot of people feel different about him. But Steiny and Schultz, they really started getting into it, where it was like they were kind of fucking bickering and kind of beefing back and forth a lot, and
Andrew just went in on Steiny.
Yeah, Andrew did go in. And he went in on him, dude. To me, it wasn't unwarranted. You know, he wasn't saying anything like that was super out of pocket. He was just kind of keeping it a buck, you know. And Andrew, he's really quick-witted, and Steiny's not so much like, you know, it was kind of like watching like a, have you ever seen like an OG guy, like an OG uncle kind of talk shit to like a youngster, you know? And they just got chirps. The youngster tries to come back, and the older uncle, you know, just fucking chirps him right back. And then the youngster kind of gets fucking stumped. So that's kind of what it was, you know. So Andrew kind of schooled him. He literally sunned him, dude. Andrew Schultz sunned fucking Steiny. So that was like, and that part really did get heated, where I was like, okay, it's not a good look for the brand, you know, for them. I could see why they didn't want to release it. But they ended up fucking dropping it, dude. And yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm a fan of the fucking Nelk Boys, but I think Andrew was on the, you know, he was on the right with this one. But also too, Kyle and Steve, they were kind of calling out Steiny on his shit. Because Steiny was just like, he was trying to like just kind of defend his ego a little bit, I felt, you know. So, yeah, dude, it was definitely a fucking interesting show.
Yeah, he went on really hard. Mark, what do you think? What's your takes?
Really? I'm surprised, dude.
Respectable. So they did. So they were saying, they thought it was a joke. So Kyle and them. So actually, Andrew Schultz on the podcast, he actually said, I'm not having a good time. He's like, I'm not having a good time. He's like, are you guys having a good time? Like, is this how you guys normally do things? And they're like, oh, we were having a good time. Kyle was like, oh, I thought we were having a good time. Like, I thought it was good. So they thought that Andrew Schultz was kind of trolling them back, like, where he was not being serious, but he was 1,000%. So
Yeah, but he was being like, yeah, he was being serious. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I think Andrew Schultz needs to come on All Aces podcast. We'll treat you better. We'll do our research. I promise we'll have a book here waiting for you. We'll have a book waiting for you, full of facts, full of research done. Mark's going to have his own research. Dan's going to have his research.
Shout out the boy Andrew, baby. Come,
We'll do
come
it
on the
right,
show.
man.
We'll take care of you, baby. Fuck. Yeah, so that's been crazy. And you know what? That kind of gave me a lot of perspective, though. Like, outside of that, dude, I think that just watching that and watching Andrew kind of critique them kind of gave me a little bit better perspective to, like, you know, that it is fucking serious because he had that line, you know, like, what was the line you were telling me a while back, dude, where he's like, he basically tells him he wasted his fucking time. He's like, the worst part about the show is that I took the time out of my fucking day, basically, to come on here, you know, or
That's
something
like,
that.
I feel like that's the as a podcast person, like a podcast host, that is the worst compliment or worst insult you can get.
So just seeing that, dude, kind of gave me more perspective, dude. Like, because it is true, you know, every guest we have, obviously they're big time players, and you know they are taking the time out of their fucking day to come on and share their story with you guys, share their stories about how they overcame their struggles and you know how they found success. So, you know, it's not that I didn't take it serious before, but it just kind of gave me a little bit more perspective. I was like, fuck, like it really is important to not fucking. Like, you can't fucking wing it.
Important to show up ready to go, not show up in Crocs.
Show up on time.
That don't fit you.
Show up on time.
Show up on time. It's a big one.
On time. Especially when you push it back already.
What'd you say?
To show up on time.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I said 7:30, bro. To be honest with you.
It's at 7.
Fred said, Fred was like, all right,
And
5
then
o'clock.
7:55.
Anyways. So, yeah. Shifting gears, though. Let's get back to the soccer fucking topic.
Shifting gears. Mbappe's deal is out of this world. Would you guys take it or no?
I think if I'm him, he has like, you know, there's beef with PSG, bro. So I would have been.
What's the beef?
Fucking thing, dude. Well, you know what? They don't. It's like they're.
He's like a selfish leader, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of like a Russell Westbrook.
Well, he's not even like a leader.
He's not.
He's just selfish.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Russell Westbrook, where like you know they could really put up some fucking points and they're great players, but they just haven't been able to have like that LeBron effect on a team or that Michael Jordan effect on a team where they make the team play better together. So at least from the outside in, it looks like he's kind of like a superstar diva type of deal. And PSG's like, all right, bro, like, we can't deal with that, you know, because they haven't really won any major stuff like big trophies, even you know when they were stacked with Messi, Neymar, and so on and so forth. So. He's been trying to leave him. They didn't want to let him leave, and somebody has to buy his contract. So finally, the Saudi team came in, and they basically told, "Hey, don't worry about PSG. We're going to cash out your 200. It's like 200 something mil. I think it's almost $300 million that they're going to cash out PSG, and then the rest is like 700 and something that Mbappe would take home for 1 year, one single year.
700 million for 1 year?
Yeah.
God.
In Saudi, bro. So, and over there, bro, there's no
That's
income
crazy.
tax, right? There's no income tax, so that's to the dome. You know what I mean? So, that's a lot of money. You know, like he would basically become a billionaire in 1 year. You know, because if you account his brand deals and all the other stuff he has going on. So, who knows, dude? I don't know if he's gonna do it. It looks like the Saudis, man, they're kind of like strong arming themselves into the sports world. You know, they had Liv, they got Cristiano.
I was just gonna mention that. So Liv actually got they became so big they got bought out by the PGA.
Yep, they became partners.
That's Saudi's on the rise. On the same topic, so obviously that's one side of the spectrum out of sports. So you have Mbappe getting paid, the Saudis getting paid, all that stuff getting paid. But you look at the other side of it, one of the things I want to bring up on the same topic is NFLs. What do you guys think about the whole landscape of running backs in the NFL? So you got Saquon Barkley, you got Tony Pollard, you got Derrick Henry, all these big stars that are on super cheap contracts that they're definitely not happy with. And then you get Mbappe getting paid $700 million in 1 year.
Yeah, dude. To me, I think the NFL athletes have been the worst paid athletes for a long time, excluding UFC people. Dude, I mean, the NFL is the most popular. The NFL's numbers do more than MLS, MLB, and the fucking NBA combined. So the NFL shits on the next three major sport franchises. And obviously the revenues are crazy that from the brand deals and stuff that the actual league itself has, not to mention the deals within each individual franchise that they have with other brands. So I think the NFL guys have been underpaid for a long time. Like, there's no way baseball players should make hundreds of millions of dollars. And, you know, fucking NFL athletes are not even getting paid that when baseball is a way smaller market compared to the NFL.
I think more than a smaller market, too. One of the biggest things, especially you mentioned UFC, one of the biggest things is UFC and football are probably one of the most high-contact sports there is out there. So high contact, more dangerous, more risk, but then less money. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, typically it should be more risk, more reward, right? But these guys are not getting. They're not getting fucking paid, dude. And I think it's been an issue for a long time, especially running backs. Dude, I mean, what's the average lifespan? Not lifespan. I don't say lifespan, but the average career of a running back isn't only like 4 or 5 years in the NFL. It's like something like super small, man. So you figure you go in there 4 or 5 years, you beat up your body. You might end up like fucking Antonio Brown saying a bunch of stupid shit on camera, you know? And for what? You know, you didn't really make that much money, you know? So I'm a big AB fan, man. I'm a Steelers guy. I love the guy. And at first, you know, I thought the Steelers did him wrong. And then, like, the more I see him, I'm like, yeah, this dude, he's cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs, bro.
He's a little off the rocker. He's a little off the spectrum.
A little.
Yeah, he's off the
A
spectrum.
little. Huh? Bro, you haven't heard some of the stuff he said? I can't even say it on camera, but that's how bad it is.
It wasn't that bad. It was Tom Brady did him dirty. That's pretty much all it was.
I don't know, bro.
What?
He hopped on a show, bro. I just seen him on a podcast, bro, and he was just like, the guy sounded like the crackheads you see, like in the freaking, like if you're walking in Fresno, bro, through the fucking, like the parking lots, bro.
I just think there's quarterbacks in the league that are not aces, right? But they're on a good team and they have the running back that's an ace, right? Like, I mean, you look at the 49ers squad. I mean, Brock Purdy I love Brock Purdy, but you have Christian McCaffrey. So, and then especially 2 years ago, if you look at 2 years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo, the offense did not run through Jimmy Garoppolo. It ran through Deebo Samuel, and there's no debate about that.
Yeah.
But you look at those guys too. Last point I'll make: you look at those guys too, and you see those are the guys taking the most high contact. Right? They're getting hit every single play. You look at Deebo when he just ripped apart the Cowboys. Fred, you're shaking your head. That's for you. He just ripped apart the Cowboys in the playoffs and just sent them home like 3 years in a row. But every single time he's done that, he's just taking a beating. Right? I mean, he's getting hit hard. Michael Parsons is running for his life trying to chase Deebo Samuel
Michael
down.
Parsons takes the cleats off, puts the Crocs on. He doesn't want no beef with Deebo.
Bro, but these guys are getting hit so hard. I can only imagine. Like, you have a big guy like Ray Lewis coming full steam at you.
Ray Lewis is soft, bro. Yeah.
There's no way, bro.
He's got to take notes from James Harrison and Troy Polamalu.
But there's no way they should be getting paid less than a receiver.
No, there isn't. I definitely agree, especially because I think in today's game, if you look at some of the more successful teams, like you said, the offense runs to the running back. If you don't have a solid running back, dude, you're not getting in there. But also, have you guys noticed a trend, though, that has been like a running back committee trend for a while now, where like it's almost 2-3 running backs in the rotation? Now, I don't know if that's like a way to like gyp the running backs and like take away their star power, like make them lose leverage financially, or if it's just like a thing to keep, you know, a healthy group of guys that can, you know, carry the rock for you and take your team to the promised land. So I don't know, dude, but you look at a team like freaking the Titans, dude, with Derrick Henry. I mean, the fucking offense runs to Derrick Henry, bro. Derrick Henry doesn't have a good game. The Titans don't have a good game, bro. So that guy should be the highest paid guy on the fucking team. No, not was it Tannehill that was quarterbacking for them, dude? I don't even know who's the quarterback for them. That's the thing. But I know who the running back is, right? The fucking Derrick Henry. So yeah, dude, it's. I think it's been a long time coming. I mean, ever since like the Barry Sanders era, running backs have, you know, they run the field, dude. A running back can definitely shift the tide. Obviously, if you have an okay running back with a guy like Tom Brady at quarterback, you know, or teams like that, yeah, I can see the quarterback getting paid more, dude. But when you have a guy like Derrick Henry, that guy should be paid the fucking highest.
I think
in the
you're
team,
taking
bro.
a beating. You deserve to get paid.
Yep.
So taking a beating, get yourself paid, get your bag. So on the topic of taking a beating, one of the biggest brands right now taking a beating is Prime. Have you guys seen the whole lawsuit with Prime? They're getting investigated right now with their energy drinks, all the kind of stuff.
What the hell?
It's just like Monster all over again. You know?
So, Mark, break it down. People at home, you guys are watching right now. You guys don't know what's going on with Prime, Logan Paul, KSI. What's going on, Mark?
Well,
What's the lawsuit,
I think
first of
it's I think it's an over the seas kind of thing right now. I think it started in Europe, where parents were mad that Prime has energy, high levels of energy. What's the energy producing thing? Caffeine. Yeah, my bad.
But does a regular Prime? Does a regular one?
No. So they're mixing up the regular hydration one with the energy one and saying that they're advertising that to children, but it's the parents that just don't know what's regulate for the kids.
And I think because I remember kind of Monster went through something very similar, like you were saying.
Yeah,
right?
Monster went through the same thing where it's not Monster's fault that these kids are buying them, like, you know, but it is how it is. It's how it's advertised. You know, kids are gonna get their hands on these things, you know. So, it's not Prime's fault though. It's definitely not Prime's fault.
I didn't know they were getting I didn't know they were in a lawsuit like that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense. But like you said, dude, what the fuck that's not.
They advertise how many grams of caffeine or milligrams of caffeine it has on the bottle. So I feel like if you're a kid, you're buying caffeine. I mean,
Kids know, bro.
You see how
Kids
much
know,
caffeine,
bro.
right? I mean, you're gonna see it on there. It's like
As
if you
a
buy,
kid-
yeah, it's like if you buy alcohol, right? You go to the store, you buy alcohol, you know what's in it, right? You know the consequences to it.
Hey,
So-
is there an age limit on caffeine, or can you be a little kid and buy energy drink?
You could be a little kid by energy drink. There's
I
no
don't know.
restrictions to
Dude,
energy
in
drinks.
Mexico, you gotta be 18, bro, to buy energy drinks. It
Well,
is, huh?
That's Mexico.
Yeah. So
Mexico's doing something right.
That's fucked up, bro. That's my motherland. Don't ever disrespect like that ever again, bro.
Cancel that.
He's gonna get canceled, bro.
Sorry.
Everybody, we got a racist. You know who should really get investigated though? My boy Adam 22, bro, because he needs to go to a psychologist or something. Because I don't know how he allowed that to happen, bro. I don't know, dude. Mark, you're married.
It's his relationship. It's understandable. His chick lets him sleep with plenty of women, so I saw this coming.
That's true. I guess.
How did you see it coming?
'Cause it was just bound to
Saw the
happen.
video. He saw the video, so he saw it come.
It was just bound to happen. And I think on what's his name? How do I forget his name? Bradley Martin had Adam 22 on it, and there was something that he said that kind of made me like foresee this happening. But also you gotta think about it. It's all advertising. They are making.
Well, he went
bags
on
and
Bradley
bags.
Martin's podcast after. By the way,
He went on it after, but there was an episode way before, where they talked about like plug talk.
Like,
and
would
stuff
you
like
ever let another guy? That's what he was. He asked him that basically, or what?
that. No, but like, I forgot what they asked, but it kind of like led me to assume that would happen, and it made sense that they did it after they got married too.
But why would it make sense? That's the thing, bro. Like me, okay, we're gonna do it before we get married, bro, because that's just mad disrespectful, bro. Like I don't know, dude. That could not be me, bro.
But here's the thing. So
Lena lets him smash other girls.
I don't care, bro. Even if like if I was in his position, she'd still be no. You're
what
not.
if
I'm
there's
sorry.
a girl at home that's calling you like sexist a little bit, like where there's double standards. So a girl is at home watching this. She's saying you have double
open
standards.
relationship, obviously.
That's true.
See what you want is a one-sided. That's
I'm not saying that's a one-sided. Like I'm just saying like before marriage, cool, but after we got married, I'm just like, bro, you know.
so. Would it have been easier if the next episode of Plug Talk was 2 guys and Lena then, like Adam a guy and then Lena, rather than Lena doing her solo thing? Would that have been more understanding for you?
Honestly, okay, let me backtrack a little bit, bro. So the whole thing that they got
Dude,
going on.
You have to think so hard before you answer this.
The
I feel
whole
like
thing.
it's like a trap.
So look at the whole thing that they have going on is fucked. I don't even know how. Like I don't know how they have a relationship that way, bro. And I get it, you know, to each their own. Me personally, I can't even think about that. Like even as a woman, like if I was her, I would not be letting him like smash other chicks. Or obviously she has her fun because she kind of swings both ways or whatever. So it's cool, I guess. I don't know, dude. To me, that's not my deal. Obviously that's why they're, I guess, like one of the few people. I'm sure a lot of people in the world do that stuff. The vast majority of people don't. You know, we're like monogamous, so to speak. So I don't know, bro. That whole thing is so weird to me, bro. Like
You just gotta turn off like relationship mindset and just turn on business mindset, because that's exactly what that's for.
So one of the-
okay, so let me tell you this though, because right now that's a slippery slope. Because if somebody comes on and he's like, "Hey, I'll give you X amount of money to sleep with your wife," are
Dude,
you
but
gonna,
that's-
are you gonna turn off the
that's
turn off
the thing,
relationship
though. So
mindset and
for
turn on business mode
for
Hell
one,
no.
but for 1 week, they've made like $4 million in 1 week.
But also, that's what they do already. That's their business.
That's true.
That they do that with Plug Talk. Like it's not something new in their relationship. That's something that they've been doing for a long time.
That's true.
So it's not like someone offered them money. It's just that they know that they can make money through it already.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like
I mean,
they have a huge following through that, and it just makes sense. Use your following. Like
yeah, it does make sense, bro. But honestly, I mean, as a man, bro, even no matter what bag you get, bro, because he hopped on his own show, the No Jumper, and he had that old dude asked the right questions, bro. He asked what everybody wanted to ask, and he was just kind of asking like, "Hey, bro, like, well, you know, he has that clip like, hey, yo, but he hits different, bro. Like that, she's gonna hit different, bro. Bro, I could not sit there, bro. Like
So he said he watched it too. He watched it. He analyzed it. I don't know.
that's rough, dude. That's rough,
dude,
You know what?
he ran the play-by-play.
He did run the play-by-play, bro. He ran the play-by-play, and it was crazy, bro. Like, I mean, to your point though, that is what they've already been doing. That is their business. So you know, for them, their specific particular situation made perfect sense. Me, I don't know, man. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
What if they get no pleasure out of sex? It's like strictly business for them.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, like I said, for them in their situation, it makes perfect sense. Obviously, for me as an outsider, that I'm not into that shit. Like, I'm not swinging around and stuff. Like, to me, that shit's weird.
What about you,
know?
Mark? What's your take? If they get no, so your exact question that you just asked right now, reversed on you.
Reversed on me.
What do you think?
Well, like you gotta think about it. There's people that are in business where they wouldn't, if they do something that makes the money, they wouldn't do it where they're not making money. So like I said, what if they, like every time they have sex, they record it or something, like anything. Like they're taking like the pleasure out of it for themselves. Well, the intimacy, I guess, not the pleasure, the intimacy. So like I said, they might not see sex as like something intimate. They might see it strictly
Like
business. Yeah, like a job. Because like I said, they're in that field. So any kind of form of sex or like pleasure has no intimacy tied into it. So that's why it's strictly business.
That's a really good take, dude.
Because like you gotta think about it. People that work at like fast food places or I just talked to someone that worked at In-N-Out. They have not eaten a hamburger for like 3 years.
Bro, there's no way you can compare working in and out to being Lena the Plug.
It's tied to like it's tied to like the work behind it.
You know, I mean, I hear where you're coming from.
So
bro.
flipping burgers is the same as Jason Love and Lena the Plug doing the work.
I'm just comparing the work behind it. Like
the work and the art.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you're a very like well-renowned painter, and
Now
you
we're
make
on
money
painting.
off
Now
of paintings,
you surprised me,
would
bro.
you be painting for free just because your mind is scrambling and not sell that?
Well,
painting?
to your
Probably
point though,
yes.
to your point though, like in the art world though, to
get
your
what you're
point
saying,
though, a lot of artists, so even like another thing to add on to that, to the artist example, right? So there's some artists that when they become too commercial, like they start to kind of become like they're asking themselves a question like, oh shit, am I doing this because of the joy? Am I doing it for the money? And because obviously it always starts as a joy, but eventually the money gets into it, right? I'm sure like why they went into the sex business was because of the joy that came with doing it, right? But then now you're kind of doing like shit that's crazy for the bag, right? To me, I mean, it's a perfect marketing stunt, right? Because there's nothing more controversial than letting your wife be a fucking cuck, basically being a cuck. You know, that's like there's nothing more controversial than that in the regular world, right? Letting your chick get smashed after you marry her, like that's just a perverting fucking like
She has a kid too.
PR. You know, it's like the perfect
she has a
marketing
kid
setup,
as
bro.
well.
So,
But would you be reacting the same if
and they do have kids.
Adam smashed some chick?
Well, he has been, and to me, that's like,
But
oh,
like solo.
Has he done a solo?
I
I
don't
thought he
think
has
he's
done a solo. I could have sworn he's done a solo
I
multiple
think he
times.
has done a solo.
Has he?
Yeah,
I think he said it on the
to
podcast
me,
he did.
I mean, to me,
I'm not
like
really involved in this kind of stuff.
it's
You brought it up, bro.
It's not like daily. It's the news side.
that's a
You
good
just-
cover, bro.
So literally everyone watching at home, no one outed themselves except for you right now, by the way.
I don't-
Like everyone at home is like, oh, that's Mark.
Well,
right there.
dude, I just look, bro. I get it's a business, all right? They have a kid. They're married. How do you have like? To me, the whole concept of getting married. Obviously, there's some intimacy to it. There's like a relationship there. There's love, you know, whichever way you categorize love, whether it's with fucking multiple people at a time, one guy at a time, different guys, different chicks,
Well,
whatever
the thing
case
is, that I know where you're going with this, but that where you're going right now about being like intimate, one person, that's exactly what Mark's saying about the whole business thing. Is that because I get it. I mean, they see it as a business, so anything they do outside of it's like going to work. Whenever she went in there, she put on a hard hat, she clocked in at work, and she was going to work.
She definitely put.
That was 0%. Like Mark was saying, she didn't. That was 0% pleasure, 0% anything else. She clocked in at work, clocked in. As soon as she left, she clocked out, went back home, took her boots off. She went back to sleep.
Yeah, I think it's just such a weird situation, dude. Because, like, but maybe it's because I'm not in the business, dude. But it's like I just can't see how you can like take completely take the intimacy out of that act. You know what I mean? I feel like biologically, you do have like some intimacy. You know, whenever you do that stuff.
But I feel like if you do it something every single day and it's a routine
that's true.
and it's a job,
Yeah.
it takes intimacy out of it.
Yeah, fuck, dude. It's
The burger. Now I get the burger.
Now you
Okay.
get the burgers?
I get
Now
the
you
burgers.
it? Okay.
yeah, you know, it's
Now I
fuck,
get the
bro.
burgers, bro. I get it.
It's weird, dude.
Same exact thing as In-N-Out. 100%. I agree.
Meats involved, patties and buns, you know, some mayonnaise on top of
Meats,
it.
patties, buns, Lena the Plug, Jason Love, it's all the same thing. And good money.
And good money, dude. I mean, look, they got
And now it
paid
gets
out,
paid
bro.
above minimum wage. That's
You
solid.
know, by the way,
Right.
In-N-Out, it's overrated. Okay.
Bro, why
I'm
would
gonna
you
say
say that on camera?
Okay, now we're gonna switch topics. Now we're gonna
Sorry.
switch topics to a California thing. In-N-Out is by far the best burger in California.
Five Guys.
I don't know, bro.
That's a tough one. I mean, I almost agree with you there.
You want to hear my logic about this too? In-N-Out.
I mean, you're gonna tell us anyways, bro. Us right now and the people at home watching, we have no choice.
In-N-Out. Well, you have a choice. I could just stop right here.
Just go.
If you don't want to get it too hot, I can stop right here.
Just go. Too hot. Okay.
Okay. In-N-Out only makes hamburgers, so the quality for the hamburger better be top tier. Okay.
They make fries.
If McDonald's
Okay, I'm beating
doesn't
it.
take a lot of hard
Okay.
work to make fries.
a lot of
McDonald's, if
hard work.
McDonald's only had hamburgers, they would be to the same quality as In-N-Out.
No, dude.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
because it's a different model, bro.
No, because
way.
they have to cover their losses on the chicken nuggets, on the ice cream, on a lot of stuff. If they only had hamburgers,
And the only reason why they started having to do it is because their burgers weren't good enough. Because if their burgers were good enough, they would be like an In-N-Out.
I went to the restroom and I just came back to like a literally shit show topic of Five Guys, Texas, Whataburger, White Castle. Have you guys had White Castle?
White Castle's dog shit, bro.
I know it's not good.
That's just washed, bro. You don't like it? It's washed, bro.
well, like I said, let's see what everyone else thinks is Five Guys top tier.
Hey, keep in
or-
mind, Mark is a contrarian. He's a well-known contrarian.
What does that mean?
He goes against the flow.
No, I have my opinions. I'm not gonna follow someone because that's what someone else is saying.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm picking In-N-Out over Five Guys. 10 times out of 10.
I'm gonna pick Taco Bell. Favorite fast food? Why not, bro? Taco Bell has everything you need. They have pizza.
Jack in the Box,
Jack in the Box is pretty good.
Hey, have you guys? First of
but
all,
not the tacos.
the shifting gears. Obviously, there's like a rivalry going on right now at the box office. What is it called? Not the box office. The
Box office.
the box office. Yeah. Have you guys seen Oppenheimer or Barbie yet? Any of them?
I have
Saw
not.
Barbie. What do you rate Barbie though?
Wait, did you see it by yourself or you went with your chick?
Oh, okay. How was it? 7 out of 10.
That's pretty high for you.
Really? What the?
That's really high for you.
Have you guys seen the picture of like the box office sales across the United States for Oppenheimer versus Barbie, and how it literally fucking looks like the election fucking map? Crazy as fuck. Like you can see Barbie and Oppenheimer. You see liberal states and Republican states, or Democratic states and fucking Republican states.
So how does it work? Is it?
Well,
Why?
the psychology though, but wait, what is it? I haven't been. But so what I thought was fucking weird was that Democratic states were actually Oppenheimer, and the Republican states were Barbie states.
Really?
Interesting, right? So now, like, what's the psychology behind that? Right? Is it because like you have the blue collar, like, stick to the like the traditions deal with the Barbie? Because for me, dude, I would guess Republicans would have fucking gone with Oppenheimer, right? I mean, it's like a war movie, So, but I don't know because I haven't watched Barbie yet, so I don't know what.
Yeah, I heard that there was like a hidden agenda being pushed through.
Really?
By someone that watched it.
Well, what's the hidden agenda though that you heard that was being pushed? Because I haven't watched it, so to me it's like.
Well, that's gonna spoil it though. So.
Just say it, bro.
Spoiler alert.
Well, this is
There.
probably air. Like, look, if you
Barbie
haven't watched
spoiler
it by
alert.
the
There you
time
go.
this comes out. So they said that the hidden agenda was that the person that's playing with Barbie is pushing like sadness onto her. So Barbie and Ken go to the real world to find who's playing with Barbie. And originally Barbie world's run by a female.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ken goes to the real world, he finds out that men are running the world, right? So when they go back, Ken creates Barbie world into Ken world, and it makes all the men back on top.
So it's more of in the Barbie movie, the whole premise is saying that the male figure needs to come up more, like be more authoritative.
Wow. Okay, you know what? You blew my mind. You know what?
You blew my
girlfriend
mind,
went to go watch Barbie, and I said, I
spoiled
don't
it,
want to watch
everything.
it. So that's
You don't watch
interesting.
it?
No, she went. She went with her mom and sister. I didn't want to fucking go. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna go watch Barbie.
I'm
bro.
actually gonna go this week, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy how Barbie took over our Instagram feed too, like our Instagram feed, Twitter feed, everything. Right? I mean, every single person is going to Barbie wearing pink. I went to Fresno this past weekend, and all I saw was pink. And right away, I thought Barbie. Or watch Barbie.
You know what? For the thumbnail, we're gonna go take a picture in the Barbie box.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, say it, Fred. Yeah,
Well, Lastly, before we move on, R.I.P. to the legend, Tony Bennett. You guys know who Tony Bennett is? Damn.
Bro, who's Tony
You
Bennett?
know who Tony Bennett is? Tony Bennett is the current modern day Frank Sinatra. He was a last of a dying breed. So
Really?
you think of Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett.
Fly me to the moon.
Literally.
Really?
Frank Sinatra. Or Tony Bennett, sorry.
Is that the guy you showed me, dude? From
It is. So
Seattle?
I seen him in Seattle. I seen him in concert. He recently passed away. I think he was 93 or 96.
Whoa.
And yeah.
OG.
OG.
R.I.P. the boy Tony Bennett, dude.
RIP.
Man.
Before we wrap it up, I know we talked about a lot of crazy stuff today. Crazy, Barbie. I don't know if it's really crazy, but we talked a lot about stuff today. We also introduced new character Mark today on the podcast. New character.
NPC Mark, catch me
Hey,
on
you know what, dude?
NPC TikTok.
We did like that Super Smash new character thing for Mark.
Freddie's shaking his Freddie's
Freddie's
shaking his head no, but if we Fiverr it on time for the episode, we might have it on there. So if you see it on there, shout out Fiverr. If you don't see it on there,
New
shout out
my
Freddie.
little intro, bro.
He doesn't have to slide into the
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny, bro.
Yeah, so before we move on, last in closing, what's some stuff people can expect watching at home for season 3?
Look, season 3, we have some really big guests lined up. Some guys that have done really big things in business, locally and also, beyond locally, outside of the Fresno area. So it's going to be really exciting. One of the things that we're going to try to do in season 3 is really implement people, have a platform where you have people that are in the 8-figure range, that are, we're trying to keep at least California local, and also people that are really, really big here within the Central Valley itself, man. So
Give them a hint a little bit. We have a couple guys lined up already. Give them a hint.
all right, so a hint is one of the most popular taco spots right now in Fresno, and I think they're really up and coming. They're killing the game. I'm not going to say it, but it's with his name, so if you know his name, and you put the word taco together, you can make a guess there.
You kind of gave it away a little bit, but it's exciting. If you put 2 and 2 together, there you go.
Yeah, we put 2 and 2 together. We also have a guy in the books already. His name is, all I can say is Frankie. A lot of you guys might not know him, but you'll actually be surprised some of the brands that he's behind. Huge e-commerce guy, has had multiple brands in the 8 figures. 8 figures, by the way, is tens of millions of dollars. So the guy's a G, man. He's a dog. What makes him really special too is, he's Latino. He's a fellow Mexican guy, man. So it's really cool to see guys like him, guys with the same skin color doing tens of millions of fucking dollars. So season 3, man, it's off to a good start. That's all I want to give away so far. That's the beginning of it.
We got a lot more people on the books already. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited talking about it. I'm excited thinking about it. And I'm more even excited for you guys to hear it at home. And also, lastly, I know I said excited like 4 times in a row, but I'm also excited for you guys watching every single week, man. We appreciate you guys showing us so much love. Like I said in the beginning, we are officially 6.5 months in the All Aces podcast. We're on season 3 right now, and we're having some fun. Coming up, we're learning every single day, and most importantly, man, we're hoping we're impressing you at home. We're hoping you giving you some value, man, giving some entertainment. And if you love it, make sure to drop a like right now. Make sure to subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcast, make sure you drop a review. 5 stars only. If you drop a 1 star, we know it's because of the new guest. We didn't get any 1 stars in season 1 or 2, so we'll see what's going on here for this new host. But make sure you drop us. Make sure you leave a review. Make sure you like it. And anything else before we close up today?
I just want to say that I really enjoy having Mark on.
Thank you.
We've been begging this guy. We've been literally begging him to hop on. He's behind the soundboard. We want to put a camera on him because as you guys saw, he's fucking good. He's good on the mic. So
on the mic. Other host, co-host Nate, he couldn't be here today. He's on work. He's grinding outside as well. But it's cool, man, to have Mark on today. Like you said, he is filled with so much emotion, so much passion, and you can really just see it through his facial expression. You can hear it through his voice. His tonality is second to none. Every time you hear Mark, I just feel like it pumps me up every single time. And we'll pan over to Mark to give him close us out, Mark.
Have a nice night.
Peace.